Good morning, class. Morning. I hope you are doing well, and today we are going to have our lesson. So I want to call the register Berila Chen, Mektil Maloba, Faith. So today we are going to tackle a topic called room service operations. And under room service operations, we are going to talk about the service equipment. The service equipment are the tools and machinery used in food service and presentation in a hotel or a restaurant. So we have the types of service equipment. They include the tablewares, the glasswares, the linen, the special equipment, and the disposables. So we are going to tackle and discuss about each and every one of them. So we'll start with the tablewares. The tablewares includes all the items of flatwares, the cutlery, the hollowwares, and they can be classified in various categories. We have the cutleries, they include the knives and the forks. The hollowwares includes the soup tureens, and we have the flatwares, which include the serving flats. And you can see I have a diagram here showing examples of cutleries. Can you see the diagram? Yeah, so in my diagram we have the fish fork, then we have a sweet fork, then we have the joint fork, and we have the fish knife, we have the joint knife, we have the coffee spoon, the teaspoon, the soup spoon, the sweet spoon, and the tablespoon. So another type of service equipment is the glasswares, and these are objects made of glass and are used in service, and they include the wine goblets, the shot glasses, the drinking vessels, etc. So I have diagrams showing different types of glasses. We have the wine glass. Can you see the wine glass? Yeah, we have the cocktail glass, the lip glass, the beer glass, and the water glass. I know most of you have come around these types of glasses. So we have the factors to consider when purchasing the glasswares. Ensure that the glass is completely transparent to ensure that there is visual clarity to be able to see through it, and ensure it is free from the air bubbles, and it should not be chipped to reduce any harm that might be caused by the sharp edges. And so another type of service equipment is the linen. And linen is just a type of fabric made from fibers and is used in service section for table layout. We have the types of linen. We have the tablecloth, the sleep clothes, the napkins, the buffet cloths, and the waiter's cloth. And the waiter's cloth is generally used for final polishing of the plates, for wiping of small spills, and to carry hot plates. And for tablecloth is just used to for presentation purpose and the comfort to minimize noise when placing items on the table. Then we have the storage of linen. The linen should be covered, should be stored in locked cupboards, and should be stored on paper lined shelves to avoid dirt, and should be stored correct size together. So let's go to another type of service equipment. We have the special equipment. These special equipment are items of equipment provided for use with specific dishes. And we have examples of service equipment. And in my diagram here, you can see types of service equipment. Can you see it clearly? Yeah, as you can see, number one is the asparagus holder. Then number two are the sugar tongs. Then number three is the pastry sliced sweet trolley. Then number four is the oyster fork. Then we have the pastry fork. Then number four is the cob holders. Then number five is the lobster pick. Then number six is the fish knife. Number seven is the sauce ladle. Number eight is the fruit knife. And number 10 is the fork dessert. So let's continue with another service equipment. We have the disposables. The disposables are materials and equipment that are used and disposed after use. We have the factors that have led to growth of disposables. So these factors that have led to the growth of disposables, we have the need to reduce the cost. What do we mean when we say you have the need to reduce the cost? This is whereby the lower cost of production and transportation for disposable of items contribute to affordability and saves money on labor cost. Then we have there is improved of standard hygiene whereby the disposable provide higher level of hygiene compared to the reusable items. Then you have the breakages of cost minimization whereby the using of this disposable, they place the caps, they eliminate the risk of breakages and assure assured things like the fragile or the glass items, which will reduce the expenses and prevent hazards. Then we have the reduction in storage and space required. You have to reduce the need for storage space by eliminating the need to store, wash, and maintain the reusable items. So let's go to the types of disposables. Under Deca, we have the napkins, the tablecloth, the sleep clothes, banquet rolls, etc. Under the service of food and beverage, you have the plates, the knives, the forks. Under the clothing, we have the aprons, the chef hats, and the gloves. So we have the factors to consider when purchasing this service equipment. We have the type of service offered, the durability of the equipment, ease of maintenance of the equipment, the price factor, and the flexibility in using the service equipment. So let's go to fact points to consider when handling this service equipment. The equipment should be handled in the right spot. Ensure that when you are using this equipment in your service area, the equipment should you should handle the equipment in the right spot. In that, ensure that the stem glass are handled by the stem, the tumblers are handled by the base, and the flatwares are handled by the handles, and ensure that you use your underliners when handling the bowels, and the thumbs should never show on the plate. Then another point, use the trays when serving to avoid the breakages, and you should also avoid overloading of the trays and burst pans to avoid falling of the service equipment. And you should ensure that when storing the equipment, use a proper system to store the service equipment. Are we getting it? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, so any question? Any question? Matilde, do you have any question? Yes. So Matilde has asked a question. What are the considerations when handling a glass? These considerations when handling a glass, you should ensure that you use the correct detergent when washing the glass, and you should also use a soft cloth when cleaning the glass, and ensure that when you hand wash a glass each one at a time. And when you have finished the washing of the glass, place them upside down. Okay? Matilde, have I answered your question? Yeah, so I think that's the end of our lesson. But before it ends, can anyone tell me what we have learned? What have you learned today? Anyone, please? What have you learned today? What have you learned today, class? Yes? Yeah, that is good. Another thing that you have learned today, another trial. Yes? Yeah, that is good. So I now get that all of you have understood my topic today. And before we end the lesson, I have an assignment for you. The assignment is you go and research on the do's and don'ts of handling the service equipment. Okay? Have you seen the assignment? Yeah, write down the assignment because I'll need it by the end of tomorrow, and ensure that you submit it through the class reps. Okay? Are you there? Yes? Any question? Come again. Okay. If there is no question, I just want to thank you for participating, and have a nice day until the next class. Thank you. Bye bye.